Assalamu alaikum students, hope you will be fine and welcome to my YouTube channel Physics Twitter. Today we will be discuss about conduction. What is conduction? Basically, conduction in general is the process of transmission of energy from one particle of the medium to the other. But here each particle of the medium stay at its own position. In physics and chemistry, the meaning of conduction is understood mainly as the transfer of heat energy or an electric charge through a material. Conduction can occur in solid, liquid, and gas. When conduction of heat occurs, the heat energy is usually transferred from one molecule to another molecule as they are in direct contact with each other. However, there is a no change in the position of the molecule, they simply vibrate amongst each other. During the conduction of electricity, there is a movement of electrically charged particle in the medium. As such, the electrical current is usually carried and moved by the ions or electrons. Conduction examples. A simple example of conduction is that we can take is if you held an iron rod with one of its end over a fire for some time, the handle gets hot. What is happening here is that the heat is being transferred from the tip that is kept in the fire to the handle by conducting along the length of the iron rod. The vibrational amplitude of the atom and electrons in the iron rod at hot and takes an relatively higher values due to the higher temperature and their environment. These increased vibrational amplitudes are transferred. I think I want to sleep. Are transferred along the rod from atom. The atom during this collision between the adjacent atom. In this way, a region of rising temperature extends itself along the rod of your hand. Consider a slab of face area A, lateral thickness L, whose faces have a temperature TH and TC. TH is greater than TC. Now consider two cross sections in the slab of position A and B, separated by alpha lateral distance of dx. Let the temperature of face A be T and that of face B be T plus dt. Then the experiment showed that Q, the amount of heat crossing the area of the slab at position x in time t, is given by Q over d is equal to minus K A dt over dx. Here K is a constant depending on the material of the slab and it's named that determine thermal conductivity of the material at the quantity dt over dx is called a temperature gradient. The negative sign shown in equation 1 show that heat flow from higher to lower temperature. And now the types of conduction. What are the type of conduction? There are two types: steady state conduction and transient conduction. Steady state conduction. We will discuss about the steady state conduction. If the temperature of the cross section at any position x in the above slab remains constant with time, the slab is said to be steady state. Okay, that remember steady state is distinct from thermal equilibrium, for which temperature at any position in the slab must be the same. For a conductor in steady state, there is a no absorption or emission of heat at any cross section. The left and right faces are maintained at constant temperature Th and Tc. Okay, the next is that respectively at all the other faces must be covered with the adiabatic walls so that no heat escape through the them and some amount of heat flows through each cross section in a given internal time. Hence q1 is equal to q is equal to q2. Consequently, the temperature gradient is constant through the vacuums. Okay, the next we will discuss about the transient conduction or non-steady state conduction. During transient conduction, the temperatures can changes and vary at any part within an object and given time. Their mode of conduction is also termed non-steady state conduction. Basically, the main point that they have the considered having object time depend on the temperature. Non-steady state conduction usually occurs when a change in the temperature is introduced within the outer areas of an object or inside. The temperature change is brought about the sudden entry of the new source of heat within the object An example of transit education is starting of an engine in the vehicle. In this case, a new source of heat is added when the engine is turned on. However, the transit thermal condition phase is only a brief moment of the time. As the engine reaches a certain operating temperature, the steady state phase operates. Hope you will understand. Please subscribe my channel's physics tutor. In the next lectures, we will discuss some other topics. Allah Hafiz.